Okay, let's talk about it. Filing for Social Security disability. It can honestly feel like you're trying to find your way through a maze, completely in the dark. So today, we're going to turn on the lights. We are going to break down exactly how to prove your claim and turn what feels like a super stressful process into a clear, manageable plan.
And look, if you're feeling stressed out, maybe even a little hopeless about all this, you are definitely not alone. It's a really complex system, the rules are strict, and you know what? It's kind of designed to be tough. But just understanding how the system works, that's the first huge step to getting through it successfully. And that's exactly why we're here. This isn't just about throwing information at you, it's about giving you the tools to feel confident. We're going to lay out a clear roadmap with real, actionable steps you can take to build the strongest case you possibly can.
So, here's our game plan. First, we'll get into what the SSA is really looking for. Then, we'll walk through the 5 key questions they ask about every claim. After that, we'll build your evidence toolkit, learn how to talk about your real-world limitations, and finally, figure out how to handle those common roadblocks that trip people up. All right, first up, the challenge of approval. See, getting approved isn't just about being sick or having an injury. It's about building this really compelling, evidence-based story that fits perfectly into the Social Security Administration's very strict, very specific legal framework. And this is absolutely crucial to understand. The SSA's definition of disability, it's a legal term, not just a medical one. The key phrase here is substantial gainful activity. Basically, it's not enough to just have a medical condition. You have to prove that your condition is so significant that it stops you from working and earning a certain amount of money, and, this is important, that it's going to last for at least a full year.
So how does the SSA figure out if you meet that super strict definition? Well, they use this specific 5-step process. The best way to think of it is like a checklist of 5 questions they have to answer for every single claim. Your job is to give them a clear, evidence-backed answer for each and every one.
These are the 5 hurdles you've got to clear. First up, are you working? If you're earning too much, that's it, the process stops. If not, they go to step 2. Is your condition severe? Then step 3. Does it match one of their official medical listings? If you make it past those, the last 2 questions are all about your ability to work. Could you do your old job? And if not, could you do any other job? Getting a no on those last 2 is how you get approved. But you got to remember, a yes at the wrong step or weak evidence anywhere along the line can just stop your claim cold.
And that brings us to, without a doubt, the most important part of your entire application, your evidence. This is the foundation everything else is built on. I mean it, without strong, clear evidence, even the most legitimate claims can just fall apart. Let's be totally clear about this. The absolute backbone of proving your disability is objective medical evidence. Your personal story is important for sure, it gives context, but without the medical documents to back it up, the SSA literally has nothing to base their decision on.
So what does this evidence actually look like? Well, it's the entire paper trail of your medical journey. We're talking doctor's notes, MRIs, lab results, therapy records, prescription histories, all of it. Honestly, my best advice, become the librarian of your own case. Gather every single thing you can and organize it by date. A clear, chronological file makes it so much easier for an evaluator to see exactly what's been going on.
But here's the thing. A diagnosis on a piece of paper is not enough. The next critical step is to show how that diagnosis actually impacts your ability to function, to live and to work in the real world. This is where you connect the dots between the medical facts and your day-to-day life. Just look at the difference here. A vague statement like, "I get tired easily," what does that even mean? It doesn't give an evaluator anything to work with, but a specific statement, "After walking just 1 block, my pain is an 8 out of 10 and I have to stop and rest for 15 minutes. Now that is something they can use. It's quantifiable. It paints a crystal clear picture of your limitations. Being specific is your best friend here. So, how do you document this stuff effectively? Here are some fantastic tools. An RFC form, that's a residual functional capacity form, filled out by your doctor. That's pure gold. It translates your medical file into the language of work limitations. Keeping a detailed symptom log makes your daily struggle totally undeniable. And you know what else helps? Statements from people who see you every day, your family, maybe even a former coworker. They add that crucial human element. Each one of these things helps build a complete 360-degree view of what you're going through.
Okay, let's talk about roadblocks, because even if you have a rock-solid case, things can come up. Being proactive and knowing how to manage these common hurdles can seriously be the difference between getting approved and getting denied.
One of the biggest red flags for the SSA is inconsistency. If they see big, unexplained gaps in your medical records, they might just jump to a simple conclusion. Your condition must not be that serious. That's why having regular appointments and a history of following your doctor's orders is so important. It shows you're actively trying to manage a significant health problem.
But what if you do have gaps? I mean, life happens, right? Maybe you lost your insurance, you couldn't afford the copays, or you just couldn't get a ride to the doctor. The absolute worst thing you can do is just ignore those gaps and hope they don't notice. You have to get out ahead of it and explain them.
And here's exactly how you do it. Just be transparent. Write a letter explaining why there's a gap. If you try to get care at a free clinic or something, document it. This kind of proactive communication turns what could be a huge red flag into just another understandable part of your story.
Sooner or later, you might get a notice that the SSA has scheduled you for something called a consultative exam, or a CE. First things first, don't panic. This is a totally standard part of the process where they send you to an independent doctor on their dime just to get another opinion on your condition.
Let's just break down how to handle it. Step 1, and this is non-negotiable. You absolutely must go. Missing it is pretty much a guaranteed denial. When you're there, be honest and detailed, but don't exaggerate your symptoms. And afterward, always request a copy of the doctor's report so you can check it for accuracy. This is your chance to make sure the information they have is correct.
So as we wrap things up here, it really all boils down to these 3 pillars. A strong, successful claim is built on 1. Clear medical evidence, 2. A consistent treatment history, and 3. Proactive communication that explains any gaps. If you can master these 3 things, you have built the strongest case possible. So I'm going to leave you with this question. What is one step you can take today to make your case stronger? Think about it. Is there a doctor's report you need to request? Could you start a symptom journal tonight? Or maybe write that letter explaining a gap in your treatment? Find that one thing and start there. Because building a winning claim happens one piece of evidence at a time.